The grace of saving lives must be promised with one's own life, you know. This is what Song Yener said when she first met Xiao Yang. From now on, there will be medicines to enhance physical fitness, life-saving pills, and countless silver coins. As long as Xiao Yang needs it, Song Yener will not hesitate to give it to him. He was injured, and she avenged him. He reciprocated, and she gave her a pill. He took the exam, and she walked him through every step. He went to the battlefield, and she followed him as a bodyguard. He wants his daughter. She gave him a pair of twins. But later, Song Yener felt more and more wrong. Xiao Yang's identity became more and more noble, and he directly changed from a small suckling dog to a Tibetan Mastiff. Song Yener was extremely panicked and anxious. Xiao Yang said that the smartest hunters appear as prey characters. Chapter 1. The Brave Original Owner. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Her father, why don't we agree? Yener finally found someone she likes. I don't know, but Xiao Yang doesn't seem to be an ordinary child at first glance. If Yener is with her, I'm afraid she will be wronged in the future. Hey, what should we do? Yener has been spoiled by us. Song Yener opened her eyes in confusion. Where is this? Yener, you're awake. That's great. You scared your mother to death. You said you want to have something good. How can you let your parents live? Mother. I'm not an orphan. Where did I come from? A sharp pain in her head as she spoke made Song Yener faint. Song Yener woke up again and it was already dusk. After thinking about what had happened to her, she reluctantly touched her head, which was still wrapped in gauze. This is Taohua village, a poor small village in the north of the western Shu kingdom. The father of the original owner, Song Dahai, was a famous hunter in Taohua village. Because the mother of the original owner injured her body when giving birth to Song Yener, as an only child, often went hunting with Song Dahai to show filial piety to her parents. A few days ago, Song Yener and Song Dahai went hunting on the Dian mountain in Taohua village as usual. On the way, they encountered Xiao Yang who was unconscious. Despite her father's persuasion, Song Yener managed to save Xiao Yang back home. When Song Yener first saw Xiao Yang awake, she told her parents that she wanted to marry him, which made Song Dahai and his wife worried. Not to mention that Xiao Yang, dressed in clothes that were neither rich nor expensive, could not enter her own home. Although her daughter was beautiful, she accidentally got scratched by a poisonous branch while hunting. Although the poison was later detoxified, she left a long scar on her forehead. So Song Yener is already 19 years old and hasn't gotten married yet, and Song Dahai is also worried that Xiao Yang won't like her, so he persuades her hard. Song Yener didn't care about so much. After arguing with her parents, she crawled into Xiao Yang's bed at night. Perhaps Xiao Yang was injured too badly and didn't notice it. When Song's mother was delivering food to Xiao Yang in the morning, she found out that she had fainted, and Song Dahai was also angry and slapped Song Yener. Song Yener, who was so old, had never been beaten before. She couldn't help but run up the mountain, feeling extremely sad. Without paying attention, she fell into a pit and knocked her head before leaving. That's a bargain now, Song Yener, what's this all about? I think I'm also a famous mercenary in the 21st century, and I'm about to retire and live the life I've always dreamed of. I'm so forced to go back to before liberation. Song Yener drank the terrible rice porridge that Song's mother had just brought, pondering how to improve the food, only to hear a knock on the door. Come in. Song Yener thought it was Song's father, but she didn't expect it to be Xiao Yang. Song Yener looked up and down, and it was truly the person who had sent the original master's soul to the west. The young man was dressed in a simple long shirt, with a high and straight nose, deep eyebrows and eyes. His sharp and angular face appeared particularly cold and handsome, while his peach blossom eyes, symbolizing sentimentality, appeared particularly obedient. Song Yener silently recited in her heart. Amitabha Buddha, my Buddha is merciful. If Buddha can overcome the suffering of all beings in the world, he will definitely forgive me as a lecherous person. I haven't met such a beautiful person in more than 20 years of my previous life, so of course I have to hold on to it now. Before the young man could speak, Song Yener first spoke out, I've heard of the promise of saving my life, haven't I? Xiao Yang didn't expect Song Yener to be so bold. But it's nothing, anyway I don't have a place to go now. What else does Song Yener want to say? Xiao Yang said first, okay. What? Do you agree? Is there a brain problem? Yes, didn't you say that you promised to save your life with your own body? He said with a slight smile on his lips, revealing an ambiguous meaning, are you really going to be a burden? No burden, your parents said there's no need to burden, as long as one child's surname is Song in the future. Oh, so the original owner's parents discussed it with him. Looking at Xiao Yang, I used to not believe in love at first sight, but now with a slap in the face, how could there be someone who grows up in every aspect of her aesthetics? Song Yener quickly imprinted a kiss on Xiao Yang's face and said, from now on, you will be my person. Don't worry, I will take care of you. Xiao Yang blushed slightly and said, oh. That's what you said, sister. He then lightly licked his dry lips with his mouth. Gudong, Song Yener swallowed her saliva. I don't know how tempting I am this year, do I? The sound of the older sister being deliberately bitten by the boy made her voice even more sorrowful and hoarse, like sand and stones grinding through her heart, a bit grinding. Cough, how could you be unconscious at the foot of the Wild Goose Mountain? I'm not asking about your privacy, it's okay if you don't want to talk. Song Yener broke the strange atmosphere between the two. Xiao Yang also noticed that Song Yener was shifting the topic and saying, it's okay, I'll tell you when there's a chance in the future. You're good to recover, so I'll go out first. Okay, Song Yener followed with her gaze. Did ancient people develop so well? At the age of 16 or 17, those who get married more often become old girls like myself at the age of only 19. Song Yener doesn't know why she crossed over to this little girl with the same name as herself. Anyway, she didn't have much to remember in her past life, it's a pity that she kept the money in the Ruishi bank. Take it as it comes, and I will live a good life here in the future. When it comes to living a good life, we need to think of ways to improve our food. Speaking of which, Song's father is a skilled hunter, and his family's conditions in Taohua village are top-notch. However, Song's mother knows how to survive, and the prey brought back by Song Dahai and Song Yener has been sold. Meichi said she would save a dowry for Song Yener, but only occasionally ate meat. Song Yener and Song Dahai would eat it, and Song's mother would hardly eat it. Relying on mountains to eat mountains, relying on water to eat water, I also need to go for more walks in the mountains. Yener, why did you come out? Do you still have a headache? Song's mother saw Song Yener come out and quickly put down her work and walked over. Mom, I'm fine now. Everything is fine. Let me help you cook. Dad is coming back soon too. Well, I'm going to buy some meat to make up for you. After speaking, Song's mother hesitated and glanced at Song Yener. Mom, what else do you and I have to say? Yener, do you really want to marry Xiao Yang? He looks like a child from a wealthy family. If anything happens, we won't be able to protect you. The original owner is really very happy. There are many girls in this family who are not suitable for people to look at. They are sold as slaves and sold as concubines everywhere. But Song Yener's parents were worried about not being able to protect her, which made the hearts of those who had never experienced father's love and mother's love tremble. Well, let me protect you from now on. Mom, your daughter, I'm so powerful, will I be bullied? It's only me who bullies people, okay? Just relax and don't think about anything. Maybe I'll have a grandson for you to play with soon. You girls' family is not shy. What's embarrassing? Isn't this a contribution for the old Song family? Mom, are you unhappy? Cough, son. Law, why don't you rest in the room? What are you doing? Oh, My mother.in.law, I come out for some fresh air. I always feel uncomfortable inside, she said as she looked at Song Yener standing not far away, dressed in a simple and graceful figure. The breeze blew over her skirt, and a faint fragrance wafted over her. Her forehead moved with the wind, reflecting her clear eyes like autumn water. Yes, it's uncomfortable to stay indoors all the time. Do you want to drink water? Song Yener didn't feel guilty after being caught. Okay, she said as she walked with Song Yener to the main house. Chapter 2. Space. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sister, How many children do you want to have? If you make a contribution, wouldn't it be better to have more? Song Yener, when I was a pig, cough, that one, drink water, it's very sweet. Xiao Yang smiled and took the water, not sure if it was because he was in a good mood. Anyway, the water was really sweet, sweet to the heart. I'm going to cook. What do you want to do? I'll call you when we have dinner later. As he was about to leave, he heard Xiao Yang's slightly hoarse voice as he passed by. Sister, don't worry, I will cooperate well if you want a few. Song Yener slipped under her feet and widened her eyes. Isn't it true that ancient people were conservative? Who said it? Promise not to kill him with a knife. Looking at Xiao Yang's raised lips, Song Yener fled in despair for the first time. And Xiao Yang looked at Song Yener's back and said, You brought it to your door yourself. Song Yener looked at the dishes in the kitchen, rolled up her sleeves, and started cooking. Because when Song Yener had no task in her past life, she would study food on her own, so her cooking skills were pretty good, but there was only salt as a seasoning here. Hey, I almost forgot that I still have a golden finger. I tried it and indeed followed over. This was originally a storage space, which automatically upgraded after Song Yener placed a ginseng for thousands of years. Now, there is a black soil of about 2 acres planted by Song Yener with many precious medicinal herbs and various fruit trees. In the middle of the space, there is a spiritual spring. Although it does not have the effect of resurrection, it can still strengthen and keep fit. In her past life, she relied on this space to save Song Yener countless lives. Due to frequent tasks, Song Yener has set up a kitchen in the space, which is convenient for any unexpected needs. Song Yener quickly cooked a meal before Song's father and mother came back. One was braised pork belly in brown sauce, another was pork stewed with turnips, another was stir-fried vegetables, and another was tomato and egg soup. Tomatoes were taken from space, so she didn't dare to take too many things, so she only used the existing ingredients. The rest could only be taken out later. As soon as the meal was ready, Song's father and mother came back. Yener, you're still injured. I'll take care of the cooking, you need to take good care of it. Song's mother looked at her daughter with a heart-wrenching expression. It's okay, Mom. I'm already fine. You've used up all the meat. You're a spendthrift, don't you know how to make a steady stream? Oh my goodness, how much oil did you use to stir-fry vegetables? You don't need to cook anymore, oh hey. Song's mother covered her heart with a heart-wrenching expression, while Song Yener was crying and laughing on the side. I just felt sorry for my daughter, but now I'm a spendthrift again. Alright, next time I'll go to Qingshui town to buy it for you. The oil here is all homemade lard, and Song Yener doesn't like it. If there's a chance, she'll have to make some vegetable oil herself. Alright, Yener finally made a meal. The child likes it. Why do you say that? Hurry up and call her son.in.law to come and have dinner. Song Dehai is also a standard daughter slave, unable to see his daughter being criticized. Immediately interrupt the conversation. Xiao Yang was surprised that Song Yener could cook so well. He gave Song Yener a piece of braised pork belly and said, The rice cooked by Yener is really delicious. I will have good taste in the future. Song Yener, on the other hand, had a stern expression on her face and said, Isn't that right? Allow you to secretly enjoy yourself. Mr. and Mrs. Song Dahai watched their interaction and were both very happy. There is nothing more important than their daughter's happiness. Son.in.law, can you make decisions about your marriage? Xiao Yang put down his chopsticks and said seriously. Father-in-law, you can rest assured that since I have agreed to marry Yenner, I will take responsibility for her. I, Xiao Yang, assure you both here that I will never take concubines in this life. Xiao Yang doesn't want his child to be like him. Hee, good son.in.law, I can rest assured now. As you know, I'm just this precious girl, so I have to worry a bit more. Don't worry, you'll be my son from now on, and I'll take care of you. At first glance, Song Dahai thinks Xiao Yang is a reliable person. I don't know how much gossip has been said about Song Yenner's marriage in recent years. Now we have finally found someone that everyone is satisfied with, and Song Dahai is extremely happy. I have heard this sentence for the second time today and it feels good. Xiao Yang also envies Song Yenner's family atmosphere, as there are not so many twists and turns. Watching Song Dahai's face full of wrinkles dancing, Song Yenner was simply stunned. Okay, I'll go find Mrs. Wang and see what good days are coming soon. Wang Posey is a famous feng shui master nearby, and she always comes to her for calculations when there is anything at home. Mom, isn't it a bit rushed? Actually, there's no need to be in such a hurry. Stop rushing, the earlier the better, said Song's mother as she stopped eating and walked out. Song Yenner, how much I hate getting married. After finishing her meal, Song Yenner sat comfortably in the yard basking in the sun, which gave her the opportunity to see her own house clearly. 3 large thatched cottages facing south, divided into east and west wing rooms, with the best facing east being Song Yenner's boudoir. On one side of the yard, diligent Song Mu planted various vegetables. Toilets and kitchens are distributed on both sides of the yard. The house is very simple, you can see the edge at a glance. If we get married in this house, wouldn't it be too bad for Xiao Yang? Well, we still need to make money. When she found the millennium-old ginseng in the deep mountains, there were several ginseng seedlings next to it, and Song Yenner had all transplanted them into her own space. It's just not easy to take it out now, we still need to go to Dian Mountain. Let the ginseng in your own space also have a source. Action is better than heart-pounding. Song Yenner stood up and went to the corner of the wall to pick up a backpack and carry it on her body. Just as I was about to go out and run towards the mountains, the sound came from behind me, where are you going? Go out for a stroll, Xiao Yang didn't expose her, just. I'm with you, your body hasn't fully recovered yet. Take more rest at home and I'll be back in a little while. Alright. Hey. Xiao Yang walked straight ahead before Song Yenner finished speaking. Forget it, you can go if you want, but how is your skill? It's probably not that good either, after all, you can be knocked unconscious and thrown out. Song Yenner didn't look at Xiao Yang's increasingly ugly face and walked towards Dian Mountain in a good mood. Humph, you must come out with me. Xiao Yang looked at Song Yenner humming a small tune in front of him, and his previously depressed mood disappeared. Suddenly, he felt that this kind of life seemed to be good, and a slight warmth appeared in his cold and stern gaze. At the foot of Dian Mountain, Song Yenner. Hello, follow me. Although my martial arts skills are not very good now, protecting you is still possible. Thank you so much. That was just an accident, okay? Xiao Yang gritted his teeth when he heard a woman trying to protect herself. The two of them walked up the mountain, and Song Yenner couldn't conceal her joy. The lush big wild goose mountain is a natural treasure trove. Not to mention the precious medicinal herbs inside, even by hunting Song Yenner, she can get rich. The two of them did not stop at the outer perimeter and went straight into the inner perimeter, which was something the original owner Song Dahai had never been to before. As soon as they entered the inner circle, both of them were panting heavily. No, the physical condition of this body is still not good. You can find medicinal herbs in the mountains that can improve your physique, which can be used by the whole family. Xiao Yang, have you ever heard of Neijia Kung Fu? In my past life, I stood out among so many people because of my cultivation of Neijia Kung Fu. I don't know if it exists here. Not everyone can practice Neijia Kung Fu, and you have already passed the best age to practice Neijia Kung Fu. Practicing it now takes time and effort, and there is not much to gain. There really is. That's easy to handle. Do you have internal strength? Yes, but my qualifications are not good, and I am only at level 3 now. She said with a self-deprecating smile. Poor qualifications. I happen to have an ancient prescription that can improve my physical fitness. We can use it when we find medicinal herbs. Brother, come and thank you quickly. Xiao Yang twitched at the corner of his mouth and said, you can find it first before we talk. Xiao Yang didn't take it seriously. If a prescription could improve one's physical fitness, those people would have already reached 9th grade. Chapter 3. Improving Physical Fitness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In fact, the value of medicinal herbs that can improve physical fitness is not low. Most of Song Yener spaces have them, just 3 uncommon ones. As they walked deeper, the light in the mountains became weaker, and they saw more venomous snakes and insects. Neither Song Yener nor Xiao Yang dared to be careless. After walking for so long, not a single tree was found, and Song Yener did not give up. Finally, she found one under a big tree. Looking at the slanting sun through the crack in the tree, Song Yener thought to herself that if she couldn't find it again, she would have to go back home. After all, Song Dehai and his wife would be worried. Song Yener's luck is still good, as she found 2 other medicinal herbs on her way back. When it was getting dark, Song Yener and Xiao Yang just returned home, carrying 2 wild rabbits that had been hit by hand. Song Yener took out a ginseng from the space when it was convenient. Dad, Mom, we're back. Before the person arrived home, the voice came in first. In fact, Song Yener really likes the feeling of having someone respond when she calls. Why are you running around everywhere even though your injuries are not fully healed? Song's father and mother arrived at the door and didn't say anything until they saw Xiao Yang and his daughter together. The 2 of them once thought that Xiao Yang had run away. The 2 exchanged a glance. Fortunately. Dad, Mom, let's go and see what I found. As soon as she said something good, Song Mu became interested and quickly followed in. Ginseng. Have you entered the inner circle? Song Dehai often enters Dian Mountain, of course knowing that there will be no ginseng on the periphery. Well, it was Xiao Yang who took me there. His martial arts are very good. Don't worry, he will protect me. He blinked at Xiao Yang who was looking at him and said, do you want to improve your physique? Yes, Father.in.law, I will protect Yener well. Well, let's choose a date for your wedding. The 8th day of March and the 6th day of April are both good days. So close, it doesn't matter to me. Can you choose? Quasi Xianggong. Then Xiao Yang saw 3 pairs of similar eyes staring at him. Let's just live here on the 8th day of March. Perhaps I only have a grandfather's association coming from my home, so I can stay here for now. Song Dehai and his wife were already thinking of finding someone to accommodate Song Yener, so they couldn't help but live here. On the 8th day of March, there is only half a month left. Dad, Mom, let's start a new house. It's better to buy another piece of land to build. Song's father and mother had planned to start a new house when Song Yener got married, so they didn't say anything. Tomorrow I'll go to Li Zheng's place and ask how much silver the land next to us costs. It'll start there. Okay, I'll go sell the ginseng tomorrow. Buy some more things. Xiao Yang, if you need it, make a list for me and I'll buy it together. Tomorrow I will go with you, and I will go to the master's place to talk about preparing for the exam. What test will be taken? It won't be the children's exam in March and a half, will it? Song Dehai asked excitedly. Yes, Father. Law, Song Dahai has never read a book, so he particularly likes readers. He even put in a lot of effort to make Song Yener come to the master's place to recognize characters. But in the Western Shu Kingdom, women were not allowed to take exams, so when Song Dahai heard that Xiao Yang was a scholar, his face immediately bloomed. Dad, have you ever heard that being useless is like being a scholar? Song Yener never admitted that she was jealous. This child, son. Law, don't take it amiss. It's just a bit lacking in heart. Hey, can't we stop talking? She walked out and found 23 other medicinal herbs in the space before frying them in the kitchen. Are you sure this medicine won't kill anyone? Xiao Yang looked at the medicine given to him by Song Yener with a difficult expression. This is a good thing, I won't give it even if others want it. In fact, Song Yener herself also despised it, but she didn't say anything. I pinched my nose and drank a big bowl. I feel like vomiting, like water in a stinky ditch. Song Yener twisted her face and raised her head at Xiao Yang, signaling him to drink quickly. Is it okay not to drink? Xiao Yang has been afraid of taking medicine since he was young, let alone it still smells so bad. Song Yener forcefully poured it down without any reason. This is called sharing blessings together. Are you sure you don't call it difficult to handle? Song Yener was not as poor as him, and she also brought 2 bowls of medicine to Song Dahai and his wife. Yener, let's not drink it anymore. Drinking it at an old age is useless, she said. Well, Dad won't drink either. No way, Xiao Yang and I both drank. We should share blessings and difficulties together. Song Dahai and his wife are speechless. If it weren't for their own daughter, the 2 people who were extremely disgusted eventually drank the medicine. Song Yener smiled and returned to her room to meditate. I silently recited my internal mental technique once, then took out a silver needle from the space and inserted it into several acupoints that could open the 8 extraordinary meridians. Although Song Yener does not understand medicine, she is familiar with the 8 meridians diagram of the human body. The reason why many people find it difficult to learn inner martial arts is that they cannot open up the 8 extraordinary meridians. And because Song Yener was familiar with the 8 meridians diagram of the human body, she directly pricked the acupoint blocked by true qi. In fact, cultivating internal power requires a natural process, and forcefully opening acupoints can easily lead to becoming demonic. However, Song Yener doesn't care. Firstly, there is space for the spiritual spring water to improve in the morning and evening. Secondly, she doesn't even care about the weak anymore, and still cares about what those are useful for. In 15 minutes, Song Yener finally felt a wave of true qi wandering in her body, feeling particularly comfortable. If anyone knew that Song Yener had opened the 8 extraordinary meridians in just 15 minutes, she would probably go crazy. The next morning, the 4 of them got up late because they had diarrhea last night. It's so suspicious that Song Yener didn't expect so many impurities in her body. And there is also black oil flowing on the skin, so I almost vomited in the morning. Hurry up and take a shower in the space before coming out. Seeing the mental state of the 3, it feels like everything is worth it. Good morning. My dear parents and husband. Song's mother was so blind that she didn't know when her daughter would turn out like this. Hey, her father, come and see if the scar on Yener's forehead has faded a bit. It's really true that because her family doesn't have a son, others always look down on her. So when Song Yener was 11 years old, she went hunting with Song Dahai, just imagining others proving that having a daughter without a son is the same. Due to her young age, she is prone to injury, and the scar on Song Yener's head has always been a pain in the hearts of Song Dahai and his wife. My daughter is beautiful. Song Dahai smiled as Wangpa sold melons. Song Yener doesn't belong to a stunning appearance at a glance, but rather the kind that looks better and better the more she looks. Paired with agile eyes, I feel like my entire facial features have come to life. Alright, don't praise me. Xiao Yang and I are leaving, and we won't be able to catch the donkey cart even later. My younger brother, who is only in the village, drove a donkey cart back and forth between Taohua village and Qingshui town every day. After Song Yener and Xiao Yang got on the donkey cart, everyone was looking at Xiao Yang, as they had never seen someone with such an outstanding appearance before. Song Yener, who is this young master? The coquettish words made Song Yener goosebump all over the ground. Song Xiang, can you straighten your tongue first before speaking? Song Xiang is the younger sister of Song Yener's second uncle's family. She has been at odds with her since she was young. Song Xiang has two older brothers and is responsible for all the household chores at home. She is also the granddaughter of the old Song family, but Song Yener has been spoiled as the little prince, causing extreme imbalance in her heart. Due to Xiao Yang's presence, Song Xiang couldn't react easily, so she stared at Song Yener with a pair of big eyes. As the saying goes, the enemy is the person who knows her best, so as soon as Song Xiang spoke, Song Yener knew what she wanted. Don't think about it, he's my fiancé AE. We'll get married in half a month, welcome to the wedding banquet. Song Yener put her hand on Xiao Yang's arm, trembling with excitement. As soon as Song Xiang thought that Song Yener was looking for a burden, her expression immediately became disgusted. Humph, those who are willing to stay in the household are those who can't survive anymore. It's okay, he looks good. Also the least capable, it's okay, he's good. Looking. Humph, don't blame me for not reminding you. He doesn't seem to be able to live at home and just wants your silver. Don't worry, the silver will be his from now on. Thank you, madam. I will be very obedient in the future. Xiao Yang pretended to be very aggrieved. Song Yener's heart trembled as she wanted to touch his head. She was really well behaved. Chapter 4. Procurement. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. When he arrived at Qingshui town, Xiao Yang said he could find someone to buy ginseng, and the price was not low. Song Yener followed Xiao Yang to the doorstep of a household, knocking on the door for a long time but no one opened it. Are you not at home? After all, we came over without saying hello. No, I guess I haven't gotten up yet. Xiao Yang clearly knows the people of this household. Who is it, disturbing people's dreams early in the morning? It's not ethical anymore. Well, cousin, why are you here? Come in quickly. Cousin, did you come alone? You don't even know how much I miss you. You haven't even come to find me since I came to this terrible place. Song Yener's sweaty face, I said, am I invisible now? Then he glanced at Xiao Yang and said, I'm standing here as a big person. Is this guy blind? Xiao Yang understood the meaning expressed in Song Yener's eyes and was a bit speechless. Let me introduce you, this is your cousin Song Yener, he said. Biao, sister.in.law, cousin, have you been married yet? You haven't even told me about your marriage, so I'm still not your favorite younger brother. Xiao Yang brushed his forehead and said, we haven't gotten married yet, but it's coming soon. I have something to give you this time, as he took ginseng from Song Yener's backpack, 300 liang, this is 100-year-old ginseng, it's not common. You're not at a disadvantage, this is what your sister.in.law has. The meaning is that if your sister.in.law wants to participate, you will have to pay for it and play tricks. Okay, cousin, but you haven't even introduced me to my sister.in.law. Cousin-in-law, I am my cousin's cousin, my name is Bai Zihua. I grew up with my cousin, and we are the closest people. After saying this, he raised his head and looked at Song Yener with some provocation. I'm sorry, in the future, Xiao Yang's closest person can only be me, Song Yener retorted without hesitation. It will soon become negative and intimate, isn't it the closest? Cough, I've been overthinking. Cousin, do you think we grew up together? Are we the closest people? Bai Zi exclaimed with a tingling expression, Xianggong, are we about to get married? Are we the closest people? Song Yener said reluctantly. Xiao Yang suddenly worried about his future life. If he had children in the future. I dare not think, dare not think. After saying, "Draw the silver," he gave Bai Zi a warning look. Song Yener felt a bit embarrassed herself, as she didn't even know where the desire for victory came from. After receiving a huge sum of 300 taels, the two of them started shopping on the street, mostly by Song Yener, with Xiao Yang following behind to pick it up. In no time, Bai Zihua followed up very shamelessly. Song Yener saw the free labor force and continued to sweep it away. "There are too many things to buy to take down, Xianggong, let's buy a carriage. It will be convenient for you to study in the future. The carriage, I know where to sell it. Follow me." Without waiting for Song Yener and Xiao Yang, walk straight ahead. "Xianggong, do you think we should take a turn and throw your cousin down?" Sure enough, the light bulb never knows how bright it is. Before Xiao Yang could answer, Bai Zihua jumped out. "I heard you. I'm not far away yet." As expected, the most poisonous woman's heart. "Don't try to provoke my relationship with my cousin. I tell you, there's no door." Bai Zihua is so angry. "Who is this for? You don't need me to provoke your relationship. Didn't you see my husband's disdainful expression on his face? Is that disrespecting me? Clearly disrespecting you, an ugly woman." "Xianggong," she said, "I'm ugly." "Humph, you're done, don't listen to him. You're not ugly, you're beautiful." Song Yener looked at Bai Zihua provocatively and said, "You are indeed blind." Facing Xiao Yang's warning gaze, Bai Zihua dared not speak. Song Yener's emotions were not high either, and it was the first time she had been called ugly. Song Yener looked in the mirror, and in fact, the original owner looked very similar to her past self, except that long-term lack of maintenance caused her skin to darken. However, her facial features were still stunning, and she couldn't be considered ugly no matter what. "This little brat, he really lacks education. Sister is not ugly at all, in my eyes she is just a fairy." Xiao Yang's seductive voice came in his ear. Song Yener was stunned for a moment. Was she being teased? Well, it must be flipped back. Is that right? That fairy came down to earth specifically to ferry you. Benefactor, you must actively cooperate and not resist. Xiao Yang struggled to suppress the upward trend of the corners of his mouth and said lightly, "Don't worry, I said that I will actively cooperate with my sister when she wants to have a few children." Surprisingly drove for me. Song Yener doesn't want to talk anymore. Finally, he bought a horse for 40 taels and a carriage for 10 taels. Xiao Yang drove the horse around the street and put all the things he bought on the carriage. What came to her mind, Song Yener said to Xiao Yang, "Find a ready-to-wear shop." "Okay, did you have a conscience to buy clothes for my brother?" Bai Zihua said humbly. Song Yener ignored Bai Zihua. "My ugly account hasn't been settled yet. I bought 3 pieces of clothes for Xiao Yang, followed by 1 piece for Song Dehai and his wife, and also bought a piece of blue and peach-colored fine cotton cloth for Uncle's family. According to my memory, Uncle's family is very kind to me." "Boss, is there a ready-to-wear wedding dress?" In ancient times, wedding dresses were embroidered by oneself, but this Song Yener is really not good. So take advantage of others not reacting and buy everything. There's really a set that suits you. It's a girl from outside Zhang's family whose wedding date has been postponed. Why don't you give it a try first? Okay, do you have any men's clothing? Give him a try too. He nervously pointed to Xiao Yang. No need, I will have someone prepare the wedding dress, she said and settled the bill, pulling Song Yener back to the carriage. You don't know how to embroider, do you? You have to embroider wedding clothes yourself. Bai Zi drew a shocked expression. Xianggong, can we get married without him coming over? You said a lot. Cousin-in-law, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Your adult doesn't remember being a villain. According to my cousin's personality, it is possible to agree. Indeed, only women and villains are difficult to raise. Look at your performance, you can leave now. Xiao Yang said to Bai Zihua in an obviously unhappy tone. Let's go. Where are we going? Aren't I with you? Can't stay, come back next time there's a chance. Okay, then cousin, I'm leaving. Remember to think of me. Cousin must listen, otherwise after speaking, I reluctantly got off the car. After Bai Zihua left, Song Yener curiously asked, is your family like this? Although it's a bit 205 and your mouth is a bit crooked, it's heartless. I don't want to participate in a house fight. Well, he was just an accident, Grandpa's family was flooded with foxes, and this one was silly and sweet. I don't know how it was developed. Song Yener and Xiao Yang were surrounded by onlookers as soon as they arrived at the entrance of Taohua village in their carriage. Oh my goodness, Yener, is this the carriage you bought? Has their family become wealthy? They can all buy carriages now. No, look at the carriage full of things. I don't know if it hit a wild boar. Ma Hohat, do you know what kind of wealth your uncle's family has made? Have you brought it with you? I know shit, anyway our family doesn't have a penny. Ma Hohat is Song Xiang's mother, also known as Song Yener's second aunt. A person who particularly enjoys taking advantage of small gains. I really miss the kind of life in my past life where I couldn't see you twice a year living across the street when I heard you talking to the villagers one by one. Okay, let's face reality. Hello everyone, this carriage was lent to us by my husband's family because they saw that we had bought so many things and couldn't take them. It wasn't bought by us, and it was all from the village. Everyone knows their situation, right? I mean, a carriage costs 50 or 60 taels, how could their family have so much silver? Xianggong. Song Yener, have you gotten married yet? You just shout around, you're not ashamed. You don't want fame yourself, we Xianger still need face. If you implicate us Xianger, I don't want you to look good. In fact, as soon as Song Yener said it, she regretted it. It wasn't in front of Bai Zi's screen, but in front of a group of gossipy women. Maybe my reputation will disappear completely, I don't care about myself, but I need to protect my second elder. They can't afford it at their age. Suddenly, Song Yener's face changed, with a mournful expression on her face. Sorry auntie, I didn't mean to. I only met someone who didn't mind having scars on my face when I was 19 years old. I just wanted to hold on to him tightly and not miss him. If I missed him, I probably wouldn't be able to get married in my life. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Song Yener looked aggrieved and occasionally dropped 2 golden beans. Well, people sympathize with the weak. Chapter 5. First Tear. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Because when I was on the donkey cart in the morning, Sister Song Xiang kept talking to Xiao Yang. I was afraid that Sister Song Xiang would snatch him away from me. Sister Song Xiang was so beautiful, not like my hiccup, a scar. So I screamed like this, hiccup really was afraid of losing him. Everyone immediately expressed dissatisfaction with Ma Hohat as they looked at Song Yener and Chu Baba. How many years have you been separated? The young couple's kindness and love are none of your business, Song Xiang. That's right, you've always looked down on people who don't have sons. Are you jealous of their Yener Xianggong? Or do you want to take them back and become Xianggong for Song Xiang? Are you still using someone else to implicate Song Xiang in your family? We all look at what kind of life Song Xiang lives in your home. And with a lofty heart, we'll see what kind of husband Song Xiang can find in your family. Yener, don't pay attention to your second aunt. She just can't see anyone good. Whatever you want to call her, she's almost getting married anyway. It's so nice to be young. After speaking, she looked vaguely at Song Yener. Thank you aunts for understanding me. I really don't want to miss him, he said, looking at Xiao Yang with a look of love for him. Xiao Yang, it's a bit over the seams. Madam, I don't want to miss you either. Don't worry, even if everyone opposes me, I will definitely fight against everyone for you. I only want you in this life, and no matter how good the others are, it has nothing to do with me. Oh my God. Song Yener felt goosebumps fall all over the ground. Accuse Xiao Yang with your eyes. Xiao Yang turned his gaze as if he hadn't seen it. Come on, compete in acting. Yang is so good. The aunties were still sighing. When Song Yener and Xiao Yang returned home, it was already dark and Song's mother had already prepared the meal. I was surprised to see Song Yener and Xiao Yang returning in a carriage and asked where did the carriage come from. These are all things you bought. Song Yener lifted the curtain of the carriage to show Song's mother the magnificent scenery inside, full of passengers. No, it's all bought by your son. Law. I tried to persuade him, but he didn't listen and insisted on buying it. He said he wanted to show filial piety to the two elders. Song Yener shook the pot very decisively. Where's the carriage? It was given by my son. Law and cousin. Xiao Yang doesn't want to talk anymore. Quietly watch Song Yener perform. Silently taking the blame for Song Yener. As soon as they heard it was a gift, Song Dahai and his wife smiled and rubbed the horse around. I never dreamed that we could have a carriage too. It's really nice. Hey. My daughter has a vision. Well, is this praising her for having the vision to find Xiao Yang? The family took the things they had bought off the carriage, and the more they picked them up, the greater the curvature of Song Dahai and his wife's mouth curved upwards. Song Yener was all amused by it. Decided to make them happy again. I gave 200 taels of silver to Song's mother and said, Mom, this is for your pocket money. Yener, her father, can you see if this is true? Am I dreaming? Said Song Mu as she took the silver ticket. It must be true, it should be the silver sold from ginseng. Hey, don't tell me, Yener's bad luck is really good. Let's go and make it easier than what we've earned in our lifetime. It's really great. Song Yener. Thank you so much. Xiao Yang tried to hold back his smile. Approaching Song Yener, she said, Sister, why don't you go more for convenience? Turn us into wealthy families, cough, cough. Song Yener pretended to cough when she saw the person who couldn't hold back her smile. Maybe we'll have even better luck next time we're together, she said after a simple dinner. Song Yener started to boil medicine again. This time, she added spiritual spring water from the space. I hope the effect will be better. You don't need to end it this time, Xiao Yang is just waiting in the kitchen. It can be seen how good the effect was yesterday. Yo, didn't you refuse to drink yesterday? Did you feel the effect? The effect is indeed good, although it has not reached level 4 yet, it is just one step away from the door. I never expected Song Yener to have such a prescription. If I take it out, I won't be snatched by those old guys like that. Practicing internal martial arts originally depends on talent, but this recipe can actually improve physical fitness, which means it can enhance talent. How incredible! Xiao Yang is now very fortunate that his half-brother threw him here. Sister, it's great to have you. A spoiled man is also lucky. Well behaved, sister can do better. Do you want to give it a try? Song Yener said as she slowly walked toward Xiao Yang. Song Yener's appearance as a female hooligan made Xiao Yang blush slightly. After all, he is only a 17-year-old boy, and in modern society, he is not yet an adult. Sister, that's not good. After all, we haven't gotten married yet. What kind of beautiful thing do you think? What I'm saying is to help you open up the 8 extraordinary meridians. Oh, I didn't expect you to not learn well at a young age. Do you often sneak a peek at the Book of Villains? Song Yener smiled mischievously. Xiao Yang has not heard anything in his mind now, only remembering that Song Yener said she wants to help him open the 8 extraordinary meridians. This is what martial arts practitioners dream of. Can you really help me open the 8 extraordinary meridians? Of course, sister never talks big. It's just medicinal herbs. Before she could finish speaking, she heard the commotion outside, afraid that Song Dahai and his wife would suffer. Song Yener and Xiao Yang stopped talking. As soon as I left the kitchen, I saw my second uncle and his family all around, and at first glance, the visitors were not kind. Did Uncle Air's family come so late to return the silver? Uncle Air, it's so kind of you to know that I'm getting married soon and I'm short of silver, so you returned the silver. The second uncle's family relied on having 2 sons in their own family. They have borrowed a lot of silver from the Song Dahai couple over the years and have never paid it back. They also said that in the future, they can only rely on their nephews, and it is only right to treat them well. If it's a good person, it's okay, but they still try to bully Song Yener in various ways. Well, Yener, you're a girl who's about to get married. Your parents' money is not going to be given to your brothers yet. We won't mention anything about the past. Uncle, our families Song Fu and Song Gui are both married and have their own children. It's really difficult to live together. I heard that you bought the land next door and built a house for Song Fu there, so it's more convenient to take care of you in the future. Song Fu next to him nodded solemnly and said, Uncle, I want a green brick and tile house with 3 main rooms. It's best to enclose the land behind me so that I can also plant vegetables. Don't worry, Uncle, you can pick whatever vegetables my family grows in the future. Where the hell did this come from? What a big face. Second brother, I'm going to build a house for Yener on this land. Don't think about it. Yener will stay at our house after getting married. I can't let Yener get married in a thatched cottage, can I? Oh see, you need to think carefully. Yener is a girl after all, and she can't support her family. You will still rely on your nephews in the future. You are not good to them now, can they be good to you in the future? Song Yener couldn't bear it anymore. Joke, with my daughter here, why do we still rely on you? And if you can count on me, the sows can all climb trees now. The forest is really big, and there are all kinds of birds. If you can't live and find a way to buy land, why do you always stare at others' pots to eat? And, why didn't we mention the previous silver? There's no reason why we shouldn't owe the silver back. Do you want to go find Li Zheng to evaluate and reason? Chapter 6. If a person lacks face, they will undoubtedly die. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. You child, what are you doing with Li Zheng? You don't need to trouble others with your own affairs. So, Dahai, since you are building a house for Yen heir to get married, I won't say anything. But Song Fu and Song Gui both have children and it's not suitable to squeeze together. Lend me another 50 taels of silver, and I'll go find Li Zheng and buy another piece of land. Uncle Heir, my family is about to start a house, where can I lend you any silver? On the side, Song Fu saw Song Yener repeatedly stop Song Dahai from paying him money and walked towards Song Yener with a sinister expression on his face. If you die, will this land be mine, and will Uncle's silver also be mine? I casually took a wooden stick from the wall and walked behind Song Yener, slowly lifting my hand. Because Song Dahai and his wife were standing together with Song Yener, I couldn't see Song Fu's movements. However, Song Erbua's family was across from Song Yener, so I could see Song Fu's movements clearly, but I didn't stop them. Even an excited expression appeared in my eyes. Ah, with a scream, Song Fu almost heard the sound of his bones shattering. Xiao Yang stepped on his chest without saying a word. Many talents have realized what Song Fu did. Brother, I don't think there's anything I can do to apologize to you. Why are you so cruel? Such a thick stick would have hit me on the head if it weren't for Xiao Yang. Dad, Mom, I'm so scared, smashing it so well. So that Song Dahai and his wife can see clearly who Song Erbua's family is. Why did Song Erbua's family become what they are now? It can also be said that Song Dahai is used to it. Based on that blood relationship, the original owner and Song mother were not less affected. Song Dahai couldn't believe his honest nephew could do such a thing. With a trembling voice, he said. Song Fu, what are you doing? Blame me, blame me. I just thought about the warmth of my childhood and fed your appetite so much that it's not as good as a pig or a dog. Get out of my house, don't come back to my house again in the future. Song Erbwa didn't take this matter seriously either. He was just afraid that Song Dahai would get angry, so he quickly pretended to be pitiful and said. Dahai, Song Fu was also momentarily infatuated. It wasn't intentional, so just forgive him for a while. Dahai, can you lend me 40 taels? It's really a chaotic situation at home every day, so just take it for granted that you feel sorry for your second brother, okay? Second brother, I really don't have any silver anymore. Yener is going to use silver now, Song Dahai thought about it. What kind of blood relationship? Song Fu can give Yener a stick now, and he can give me a stick in the future. Song Erbwa did not care about Song Fu's life or death. In his opinion, nothing is as important as silver. How could someone like him expect his son to provide him with retirement? What the hell are you thinking? Oh my, Dad, I'm so dizzy. Am I scared? But I'm really sad. I never expected Song Fu to be so cruel to me. Maybe I have to give him everything I have to do in order to be good to him and give him some conscience. Song Yener continued to take eye drops for fear that Song Dahai would soften her heart. Song's mother hugged Song Yener with slightly red eyes and said, Yener, don't be afraid, your things are your things. There's a mother here. There's a mother here, don't be afraid. Be good. Then she gestured to Song Dahai with her eyes, saying, let them go. Although Song Erbwa is his older brother, he is still afraid of Song Dahai from the bottom of his heart because Song Dahai has been hunting since he was young and his mind is spinning fast. As he grew up, he also spent 2 years on darts. It's just that Song Dahai is someone who values emotions. Generally, as long as he doesn't make excessive demands, he will be satisfied. Song Yener is Song Dahai's bottom line. Since Song Fu wants to move, Song Dahai will not let them cause trouble in the future. Song Erbwa also cleverly thought about this, thinking that if he left like this today, he wouldn't have any benefits for himself in the future. So Song Erbwa's eyes twitched. Well, the sea, isn't there a carriage here? It must be worth 50 taels. You just pity me and let me take it away. I promise I won't borrow money from you again in the future. Song Dahai also had a face full of disbelief that these were words spoken by his own second brother. This is really shameless. Uncle Air has such a big face. Poor pity, just give you a carriage, then you also pity me, give me a carriage. Get out now. He picked up a stick and hit Song Fu. I can't beat your old man, but I can still take a breath out of him. Ah, little uncle, stop beating me. I'm leaving, can't I still leave? Why is it me who was injured? A family full of fighting spirit came and left with a disheveled face. Due to the commotion between Song Erbwa and his family, except for Song Yener, everyone's mood is not high. So when Song Yener handed the medicine to the second old man, she drank it without saying a word. Dad, Mom, come and see your cute little ones, Song Yener tried to tease the second old man. The effect is not significant. Song Yener has to use her trump card. Mom, actually I concealed something from you. What's up? Song's mother looked puzzled, and Song Fu also became interested. My daughter can't hide anything in her heart, I don't know what she's hiding. Can you tell me now? Actually, I sold 250 taels of ginseng and kept 50 taels myself. Are you surprised or not? Song's mother couldn't help but laugh and cry. I thought it was something. You were getting married soon, and you had to keep all the money on your own. I forgot about it if you didn't say it. Take these 200 taels, you earned them yourself, and use them as your own small family in the future. Isn't this the money for the house? What are you giving me? I'll pay for the house with your mother, and you can keep what you earn yourself. Thinking that your daughter will be living at Xiao Yang's house sooner or later, it's better to have some money by your side. This is the blueprint for my house. Are you sure you want it? It's not cheap. Song Dahai took the blueprint from his daughter's hand and said, "Oh, how big a house are you planning to build? How come I haven't seen such a house before? Where do you think? Can you just say if we can find someone else?" "What my daughter wants must be done," she said silently as she retrieved the 200 taels of silver from Song Yener's hand. "Okay, there will always be silver in the future. Don't worry, I will take you with me when I settle there in the future. Don't always think about what it's like to have no son, my daughter is definitely not inferior to a man." Song's mother has been suppressed by the fact that she has no son in her life, always feeling unhappy. Hearing her daughter's words, she also understands that she is comforting herself. Don't want her to worry, force her to cheer up. "Okay, I'll take my precious grandson with me in the future." "Mom, is this a bit too wide a span? After drinking the medicine for improving physical fitness for 7 consecutive days, I finally cleared out all the impurities in my body. And Song Yener's change is undoubtedly the greatest. The previously dull skin has faded away, now it is as tender as a peeled egg. Her agile eyes, long eyelashes, straight and delicate nose, and rosy little mouth make her look beautiful like a fairy. The scar on the forehead has also faded a lot. Song Yener looked at her face in the space with satisfaction, almost identical to her previous life. "Oh, I really don't know how I crossed over here. With the same name and appearance, is this my previous life?" Song Yener thought with a big open mind. Chapter 7. Opening Cheeks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Song Yener stopped meditating and scanned her internal strength with her mental energy. It was great, it's already level 4. Indeed, opening the 8 extraordinary meridians is like the difference between riding a horse and walking. And it seems that meditation in space has a much better effect than outside, which I discovered a few days ago. So Song Yener will practice in the space when she has nothing to do recently. Picking baskets of peaches, Song Yener made her way out of space and prepared to go to Dian Mountain again to find intermediate medicinal herbs for improving her physique. Because the next door is building a house, Song Dahai and his wife help the next door during the day. And Xiao Yang is also elusive, only coming back at night. Upon arriving at Dian Mountain again, Song Yener quickly ran towards the inner circle. It's different to have internal power here. Song Yener disappeared in the blink of an eye. With the growth of internal strength and the improvement of footwork, Song Yener's lightness skills have all improved significantly. The primary medicine for improving physical fitness is no longer able to enhance one's own and family's physical fitness, and stimulate the body's potential. Intermediate level requires 36 types of medicinal herbs, with only about 10 in one's own space. The remaining medicinal herbs need to be found, and there is also a medicinal bath needed to open the 8 meridians of the strange classic for Xiao Yang. Thinking about it makes my head feel big. Okay, let's get started. Song Yener's spiritual power is released, and she is searching inch by inch. Although there are many herbs in Dian Mountain, they are not easy to find because they are widely distributed. Song Yener has entered the deep mountains 7 or 8 times, but still hasn't collected all the intermediate herbs to improve her physique. On the 5th day of March, when her family was busy preparing for her wedding, Song Yener prepared to quietly touch and enter the big wild goose mountain again. Just this time there's a tail behind me. After entering the inner circle, Xiao Yang finally appeared, and Song Yener's surprised appearance left Xiao Yang speechless. This guy has already discovered himself and insists on performing here. Song Yener has decided to take another walk into the deep mountains and try her luck. Roar, what sound, is it the tiger's roar? Song Yener asked with uncertainty. I haven't seen an ancient tiger yet. In modern times, tigers in zoos have their claws and teeth pulled out, so they lack that energy. It seems like we should be careful. Song Yener and Xiao Yang let go of their spiritual power and walked cautiously towards the direction of the tiger. Why do we have to walk in the direction of the tiger instead of staying away? Song Yener said that tigers are all treasures. Since we have encountered it, of course we cannot miss it. When the two of them arrived at the tiger's side, they looked surprised. It turned out to be an injured tiger. The tiger's body is huge and terrifying, with stripes on its pale yellow fur. The fur on its chest is white, and a large tail with black stripes in circles looks like a huge cat. The tiger, which was supposed to be majestic and domineering, was now lying on the ground, barely breathing. Wow! Our luck is so good. Song Yener watched the big tiger fly with joy. It should have been poisoned by a snake, probably a silver ring snake. This snake is the most venomous, we need to be careful. As one of the most venomous snakes on land, the silver ring snake has a very small amount of detoxification at once, but its toxicity is extremely fierce, mainly for paralyzing breathing. If the injured person is not treated in time, they will die in their sleep. Xiao Yang is still promoting the power of snakes. But what Song Yener cares about is: can we still use this tiger meat, tiger whip? Xiao Yang gave Song Yener a meaningful glance. Can be used, if you want to die. Pooh, 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 I still have enough to live. The most important thing is that I haven't received you yet, how could I be willing to die? Xiao Yang is really getting worse and worse. Ah, if life is just like seeing it for the first time. What about this tiger? It can't just be wasted, can it? What a pity. Do you have a way? Song Yener thought for a moment and said. If I detoxify it, will it bite me back? Can you eat tiger meat after detoxifying it? So excited. No, adult tigers are human beings. If you can really save them, there may be unexpected gains. However, the poison of silver ring snakes is not easy to cure. Don't worry, my detoxification pill can detoxify 100 poisons. As long as it is a poison that exists in this world, it can be detoxified. This detoxification pill was made in a previous life, and because of its strict requirements for medicinal herbs, Song Yener only had 5 pills. I didn't want to give it to the tiger, but it kept its big eyes open and looked at itself wet, which made Song Yener unable to bear it. Well, detoxification pills can have a chance to practice again, but a tiger only has 1 life. Song Yener definitely forgot that she was still thinking about tiger meat and tiger whip just now. Pretend to take out a bottle from the sleeve, pour out a pill from inside and deliver it to the tiger's mouth. You're just lucky enough to meet me, otherwise you'll end up in the same situation. Xiao Yang said, you know how to repay kindness. I don't pray for you to repay kindness, but if you're good, don't bite me. Do you know? Of course, if you really want to repay kindness, I won't force you, after all, my detoxification pill is very expensive. I like to collect precious medicinal herbs. Tiger brother, if you know where you have it, you can tell me. In less than a quarter of an hour, the tiger stood up slightly. It was obvious that the poison on the tiger had been detoxified. I saw the tiger biting Song Yener's hem with its mouth and dragging her forward. Ah, Xiao Yang, didn't you say that the big tiger won't bite me? It's going to bite me, Xiao Yang. Fool, the tiger is taking you to a place. Sweat. Oh. Yeah, I also feel like it's not biting me. I'm just joking with you. Ha ha ha, is it funny? Damn it, it's so awkward, it can even dig out 3 bedrooms and 1 living room in place. The big tiger released its bite on Song Yener's hem and gestured for them to follow it. Song Yener and Xiao Yang both understood the tiger's signal and followed behind it. Finally arrived in a canyon. Ah, I'm not dreaming, am I? Then I pinched Xiao Yang with my hand. Does it hurt? Look at your expression, it must hurt. Xiao Yang, Zi Bao Teng, Wu Ling Shen, Mo Chao, Yuan Jinghua. There are so many medicinal herbs. Xiao Yang, you have gathered all the herbs for your medicinal bath, and tonight we can open the 8 extraordinary meridians for you. Because I am not familiar with the blocked acupoints on Xiao Yang's body, I dare not act rashly, but combining them with the medicinal bath can greatly improve the success rate. Xiao Yang looked at Song Yener. With curved eyebrows and eyes, a bright smile, like the gentle and warm winter sun, illuminating a dark corner of his heart. Warm and itchy. Don't deliberately stop the corners of your lips from rising, look at her gently. Of course, Song Yener could feel Xiao Yang looking at her. She had intended to flirt with him, but when she met him with a flustered look in his eyes, she didn't dare to look straight at him. Oh my God, this is 1,000-year-old blood ginseng. Mom, I really made a fortune today. The purpose of the big tiger bringing her here is very obvious, which is to give these medicinal herbs to Song Yener. After all, tigers also don't like to owe favors. And Song Yener's goal is also very obvious, which is to bring all the medicinal herbs she likes. If Xiao Yang didn't come with her, it would be okay. She received them in the space, but Xiao Yang came with her. Well, my lord, did I ever tell you that I have a storage space? Storage space. No wonder she often doesn't know where to take out a lot of things. Yes, I got it by chance. In fact, Song Yener didn't want to tell Xiao Yang about space, but the benefits were right in front of her. If they could hold it with their hands, they could come up with a few things. The big tiger had just detoxified and was grateful to her in her heart. Who knows if the big tiger still recognizes it after today? What if it doesn't recognize it? For example, if you know you've earned 5 million yuan in lottery tickets, but your ticket is gone. Do you have to cry to death? So Song Yener can't care about you so much anymore. Chapter 8. Space Upgrade Again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's talk about space when we have time, otherwise we'll focus on what's in front of us first. Song Yener blinked at Xiao Yang, gesturing for him to take a look at the medicinal herbs in front of him. It's obvious that this is not the place to talk. Xiao Yang said, okay. There will be plenty of time in the future. Song Yener is very busy, all of them are top-quality medicinal herbs. Can't she dig carefully? Let me help you dig. Xiao Yang looked at Song Yener's busy schedule and wanted to go up and help. Don't, just stand there and don't move, don't help me. This is 1,000-year-old blood ginseng, shedding a beard and crying to death. The last space upgrade was due to a millennium ginseng. I don't know if this millennium blood ginseng can upgrade the space. Finally, I have collected several top-quality medicinal herbs, and the remaining Song Yener and Xiao Yang dug together and quickly finished. Thank you, Big Tiger. Come to me again if you have anything next time. We need to go home, goodbye. Xiao Yang, Yener, where are you going to let the tiger find you next time? Our village. Song Yener said without any pressure. Well, brother tiger. Our villagers are all pretty good. If you go down the mountain, don't eat them. They stink, I'll tell you quietly. They don't even take a shower. Xiao Yang feels that Song Yener is so cute. Alright, you can leave now. If you don't leave again, your parents should worry. Alright, brother tiger, bidding farewell to you for 1,000 miles is necessary. Don't send it again, goodbye. After finishing speaking, he whispered to Xiao Yang, run quickly. When the big tiger reacts, it will eat us. Song Yener held Xiao Yang's hand and quickly walked forward. I didn't notice myself holding Xiao Yang's hand until the foot of the mountain, and my face quickly turned red. Well, we're getting married soon. It's okay to hold hands, isn't it? Well, it's nothing, I'll give my sister my hand in the future. She said, holding Song Yener's hand in reverse as she walked home. Song Yener looked at the hands they were holding, feeling like something was wrong. Mr. and Mrs. Song Dehai looked at the hand they were holding, their eyes squinting with laughter. Mom, your baby is starving to death. Do you have any food to eat? Song Yener took this opportunity to let go of the hand they were holding. Showing affection in front of parents always feels awkward. Alright, we'll wait for you to come back for dinner. Song's mother smiled and said. During the meal, Song Dehai mentioned the new house and said, the rough outline of the house has been drawn out, and your main house has also been decorated according to your requirements. If you get married, just leave it there. Okay, they're all pretty damn good. I can handle the rest in the future, don't worry. I'm full, I'll go take some medicine. This is an upgraded version, just take it once a month. Song Yener said hello and went to the kitchen to start boiling medicine. She also had to tidy up the medicine for Xiao Yang's medicinal bath at night. After the medicine was cooked, Song Yener entered the space. It's really upgraded again. Looking at the space in front of her, Song Yener couldn't help but sigh. But apart from a few more acres of land, there hasn't been much change. Who said there's no change? Haven't you seen me? Who is talking? Sorry, I haven't seen it yet. Humph, if it weren't for me, could you be here? You would have been a pile of bones long ago. If you didn't thank me, you would still ignore me. I really have no conscience. Oh. I'm here thanks to you. Who the hell are you? The 100 immortal beasts have arrived, said Song Yener, and she saw a hairless little bird landing in front of her. Puff, this is too ugly. Like a roasted duck on a plate. You're ugly, your whole family is ugly. I call it sexy, you know what? Yes, I did. Can you explain what you just said? I didn't live well in my past life, how could I become a pile of bones? You died in your sleep, and I don't know the exact reason. All I know is that I woke up at the last moment and brought your soul here, which is why I rested for so long. I only woke up when the space was upgraded again. Dead woman, you should know me now. Song Yener, so what can you do? What are the benefits of raising you? The little duck choked and said, there are many benefits anyway, you can slowly experience them yourself. Without looking back, she walked away. It's really funny looking at her. Song Yener has sorted out the medicinal herbs she needs to use and started preparing to make medicinal soup. At this moment, Xiao Yang came over. Coincidentally, this intermediate medicine is ready. You should drink it quickly and take it to my parents after finishing. I need to make pharmaceutical bath soup for you. Okay, you don't want to, it's too hard. Xiao Yang has never encountered such a person before. It's just being kind to you with all his heart and lungs, I don't know how to express gratitude for a while. Okay, you go quickly. Only when your strength is high can you protect me in the future. I don't like to fight or kill, I only like to pretend to be a pig and eat tigers. Barrels of medicinal soup emitting a strong medicinal smell were poured into the bathtub by Xiao Yang. Then Song Yener gestured for Xiao Yang to take off his clothes. Sister, won't you go out? Xiao Yang's little face blushed slightly. Song Yener pretended not to see it, who will give you an injection when I go out? What are you afraid of? You can see it sooner or later, it's not that you're not invisible. Xiao Yang couldn't control so much anymore. He took off his clothes and gritted his teeth into the bathtub. The medicine soup in the bathtub was very hot, but Xiao Yang sat in without saying a word. Song Yener couldn't help but scream for Xiao Yang as she watched from the side. After a quarter of an hour, Song Yener added another bucket of very hot water to it, and Xiao Yang's body color had already turned red. Song Yener took out a silver needle and held Xiao Yang's hand with one hand. Xiao Yang felt a warm current surging out of her hand, and then quickly surged towards her whole body at an extremely fast speed. Pay attention to breathing, tell me where you pause each time. Xiao Yang felt the warm flow in his body, silently remembering where his internal strength stopped every time. I'm going to administer an injection. When you encounter a blockage in true qi, use your mind skills to sprint with all your might. An hour later, Xiao Yang couldn't believe it and used his spiritual power to feel a genuine qi in his body. I can't believe it just opened up the 8 extraordinary meridians like this. You should know that those people in the capital have all kinds of medicinal baths and tonic diet to nourish their bodies since they began to cultivate their internal kung fu. With such favorable conditions, there are very few people who can open the 8 extraordinary meridians. I never thought I would open the 8 extraordinary meridians. Alright, in the future, just practice well. Song Yener didn't seem to take it too seriously. Well, those people in the capital would probably go crazy if they knew I was so simple and opened the 8 extraordinary classics. Xiao Yang was a little gloating. Simple. Where is it simple? Not to mention the millennium-old blood ginseng, it's just a medicine that I give you to drink every day to improve your physique. Do you know how many medicinal herbs are needed? And most of them are of a quality that has been over 100 years. Do you think you can open the 8 extraordinary meridians with just a simple needle? It's just that you're too naive. If you're alone, you won't be able to do it. Just say you can take out a few medicinal herbs that have been over 100 years on your own. I'm bleeding a lot. Remember to calculate the silver for me. Song Yener made a white lie, and the blood ginseng has already been eaten by space. If Xiao Yang had no words to borrow from her in the future, it would be better to say that he had used it himself. Ah, this way, that's quite difficult. Don't worry, I even belong to my sister as a whole, not to mention those external things. Song Yener, indeed, you are all mine. Song Yener looked at the faded bathtub and said, alright, come out now. Don't forget to pour out the water. I need to go back to bed first. I'll be busy from tomorrow onwards. Well, good. Yener. Xiao Yang called out to Song Yener at the last second as she walked out. What else is there? Song Yener asked, wondering if there were any sequelae. It's nothing, it's just that I will treat you well in the future, believe me. Xiao Yang's face was never more serious. I believe you. Song Yener walked out quickly. Damn it, this is forcing me to commit a crime. Don't worry, sooner or later it will be mine. But he looks good. There are still 8 abdominal muscles left. Ah, I really want to touch it. Song Yener slapped her face fiercely and said, don't think about it, it's only 2 days away. You can touch it casually in 2 days. Song Yener comforts herself. Chapter 9. Getting Married. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Song Yener was awakened. Get up and walk towards the new house. There were many people coming, and everyone's face was beaming with joy. Those who didn't know thought they were getting married on their own. Because only his grandfather and cousin came over from Xiao Yang's side, the process was simplified a lot. Originally, his mother's and husband's families had to eat separately. But Xiao Yang didn't hire anyone over there, so there's no need to do it separately. Oh my, why did you come out? The bride is not allowed to come out to see anyone 2 days before getting married. Hurry up and go back, said Song Yan's aunt. I have been very kind to Song Yener since I was young, because my uncle's family has 3 sons but no daughters, so they all treat Song Yener as a daughter to spoil. Ah, is there such a thing? Then I'll go back. Don't tell my mother, auntie, otherwise it's time to miss me again. I know now, you should go back quickly, rest well, and be a beautiful bride. Okay, then I'll go back first. On the way back, I saw Song Dehai commanding the villagers to lift customized furniture into the house. Song Yener quickly sneaked back to her yard while Song Dehai was not paying attention. I've been busy searching for herbs, and I haven't even visited my new house yet. But it's not urgent now. Song Yener stayed alone all night, perhaps because the original owner was not likable before and didn't have any friends. That's good, it's convenient for Song Yener now. She doesn't want to act every day, how tired she is. Yesterday, Xiao Yang had already sent her wedding dress. She tried it on herself and everything was just right. She even smiled and asked Xiao Yang if she had secretly measured her size. Xiao Yang didn't answer her question either, just blushed and walked out. It's a bit boring, it seems like she's the least busy person as a parent. Song Yener entered the space and looked at the thriving space, feeling a bit proud. Thanks to her years of management. Smooth and tender apples, grinning pomegranates, juicy peaches, and strings of crystal clear grapes. All kinds of fruits are ripe and waiting to be picked. Although I have been eating various fruits since crossing over, I can't finish them all. It seems that we need to find a way to sell it in the future. Otherwise, it is also a waste. The next day, today is a regular day. At the end of the morning, Aunt and her family arrived. Uncle's third brother Song Sanlang asked someone to lift a large object from the car, the dressing table. This is a rare object here. What's strange is not the dressing table, but a circular glass mirror on the dressing table. Song San-gu can still see various good things because he is escorting people. Little sister, take a look at the whole thing that third brother gave you. They all say girls will like it, will you like it? But it took me a lot of effort. Watching Song San-ji's expression of seeking praise made Song Yener couldn't help but laugh. I like everything third brother gives me, but I love it the most. Although there is a better mirror in my own space, it is not suitable to take it out. Looking at the natural wood-colored dressing table, bright glass mirrors, smooth and flat countertop, elegant style, exquisite workmanship, it looks very upscale. On the other hand, Song Xiang's eyes were almost glued to the dressing table, and she reached out to pull her mother, indicating that she also wanted it. Meanwhile, her second uncle patted Song Xiang's hand, indicating that she was at ease. Similarly, as a younger sister, when you get married, your third brother will also give you gifts. If we don't give you this or something worse then, you see, I won't find fault with him. Song Xiang was satisfied. She knew her mother's combat power very well. Subsequently, aunties also began to bring decorations to Song Yener, which were nothing more than their own embroidered wallets, handkerchiefs, and so on. At this moment, my cousin also walked over and pulled Song Yener aside. He took out a bracelet from his arms and saw that the water head was very good. This was given to you by my grandfather, who is also my cousin's grandfather. It is said to be a token of affection between my grandmother and grandfather. You must keep it well, it is very expensive. I was afraid that Song Yener would not recognize it, so I specifically explained that it is very expensive. Since this bracelet is so important, wouldn't it be inappropriate for me? Isn't there a grandson? There's nothing suitable or not, just take it and I'll leave. Yener, it's time to change into a wedding dress. Auntie urged, and Song Yener followed Auntie back to her room. Watching Song Yener change into wedding clothes, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. It was really beautiful. A bright red silk long skirt hangs over the feet, with a cross-necked, chest-length, and floor-length skirt. The outer layer is covered in coarse gauze, with wide sleeves and wide hem. The top is intricately sewn with blooming cherry blossoms or clusters. Song Yener, who is already beautiful, is incredibly beautiful. Song Yener herself is also quite satisfied, which is much more beautiful than what she saw in a ready-to-wear store. Here we are, the groom is here. As Xiao Yang is not a burden, we discussed and said that the next door is Xiao Yang's house, so we still need to come here to pick up the bride. Song Dehai doesn't matter, after all, it's just a few steps away, and in the future they will have a child surnamed Song, that's enough. This groom's official looks too pretty, isn't he? Yesterday everyone saw that Xiao Yang was already stunning enough, but they didn't expect him to be even more handsome in the groom's uniform. After a flood of praise, Xiao Yang went to Song Yener's bedroom, and Song Yener had an apple stuffed into her hand, with a red cap covering her head. Song, the elder brother of Uncle Song's family, carried Song Yener on his back out the door. After leaving the door, he will become a woman, a wife, and a son. His hair will be tied into a woman's bun. Good time, welcome the newcomers. Because the two families were close, there was no sedan chair used, and Brother Song carried them directly to the new doorstep. At the entrance of the new home, Chuanfu people tied the red silk in the bride's hand to the groom's. The bride disembarks from the sedan chair, bringing good luck and blessings. The bride enters the door, bringing abundant wealth. The bride crosses the saddle, bringing good fortune and peace. The bride lands, bringing children and grandchildren to the ground. Bride, please cross the brazier. Enter the main entrance, salute. The place of bowing is the main house of this house. Sitting above is. The man sitting here is an old man. He is an elderly man in his 60s, standing 8 feet tall, with broad shoulders, a thick waist, half-white hair, and 2 bright and majestic eyes. And on the other hand, the woman's side is sitting with the Song Dahai couple because her grandparents are no longer here. One bow to heaven and earth. The two newcomers bowed together to the laws of heaven and earth outside. Bai Gaotang. Song Dahai and his wife sitting in the main seat, as well as Xiao Yang's maternal grandfather Bai Jing, had smiles on their faces, but their eyes turned red. Especially Bai Jing, tears in his eyes. Husband and wife say goodbye. Li Cheng, deliver to the bridal chamber. Xiao Yang cautiously led Song Yener towards their new house. In the new house, Chuanfu people let Xiao Yang lift the red veil. Xiao Yang slowly lifted the red cap on Song Yener's head. The black-green hair is dyed like ink, tied up with a hairpin into a beautiful bun. The fair and tender face is as tempting as a peeled egg, with a pointed nose and a bright red mouth. The color is tempting. Sister, you are really beautiful today. Xiao Yang's mouth almost pressed against Song Yener's ear, making her whole body covered in goosebumps. Xiao Yang seems to have discovered something particularly fun and even blew some hot air on Song Yener's ear. Chapter 10. Bridal Chamber Candles. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Song Yener feeling offended. Am I only beautiful today? He frowned slightly. Xiao Yang chuckled lightly and said, Sister has always been the most beautiful in my heart. Lift the veil, share joy together, let the veil fall on the back, be prosperous and wealthy, pair up, and have a precious son at an early age. Chuanfu people are also happy for the two newcomers when they see their interaction, but they have to disturb them, as the necessary process still needs to be completed. Please drink Hajin wine. Xiao Yang held Song Yener by the hand and handed her a glass of wine with the other hand. The two of them held their glasses and drank each other, smiling at each other. They each drank half of the wine, and then the Chuanfu people changed their glasses and continued drinking. The newlyweds Jin Qiushi stepped out of the cabinet, and their wedding wishes were as sweet as sugar. It's a pleasure to meet on the warm day of March 9th, with blessings lasting for 100 years. Chuanfu people fulfill their blessings with diligence. Song Yener took out a red envelope and handed it to Chuanfu people. Chuanfu people happily left their new house. At this point, there are only two people left in the new house. Yener's low and hoarse voice is like the whispers of lovers, and also like the whispers of love. Xiao Yang reached out and hugged Song Yener, with his head resting on her shoulder and his mouth facing Song Yener's ear. Suddenly, his playfulness increased and he licked his slightly red ear with his tongue. Ah! Song Yener couldn't believe that such a charming voice came from her own mouth. Straightened up and slowly lifted Xiao Yang's face. Tiptoe up and kiss it. You are finally mine. This young man, both the original owner and myself, was delighted at first sight. Xiao Yang was momentarily stunned, then kissed her sweetness again. The two of them breathed together, and she could feel his breathing suddenly intensify. Just as he was about to speak, Xiao Yang lifted her face and forcefully pried open her lips and teeth. Song Yener panicked and hugged Xiao Yang's neck, welcoming her strength and gentleness. After the kiss ended, Xiao Yang hugged Song Yener and a seductive voice came to Song Yener's ear. It's so urgent. Song Yener, who the hell is the person who is in a hurry? She rolled her eyes for herself. Alright, I'm going out now. My mom will bring you food later. You have some to eat first, and I'll go say hello to the guests outside and try to come back as soon as possible. Remember to wait for me, sister. She said and walked out. Song Yener touched her slightly swollen lips and smiled like a fool. After a while, Song's mother walked in with a meal in her hand. Yener is exhausted. In the blink of an eye, Yener is getting married, so fast. Although it was a very happy thing, Song's mother forced a smile all day today. Song's mother also knew it shouldn't be like this, but she herself said she couldn't control it. Mother, even if my daughter gets married, she won't leave you. I will take you with me wherever I go in the future. My daughter still hopes that you will take care of her children. My daughter is a child herself, and she won't take care of another child. Song's mother couldn't help but laugh and cry, you dead girl, you're not shy. Those who open and shut up are all children. Isn't it because you care? Only when it comes to the child will Song's mother be happy from the bottom of her heart. Alright, hurry up and eat. By the way, I have something for you, he said, blushing as he took out a book. Well, if you don't understand anything, you can ask me. Take your time and eat. I'll get busy first. Song Yener can tell what the book is by looking at Song's mother's expression. Open it casually and take a look, hee. This doesn't work at all, it's all blurry. Besides, there's no large-scale island action movie I've seen in my past life. I have also learned seduction in my past life. It's just that I've always been addicted to my mouth and haven't used it with real bullets. After finishing her meal, Song Yener took a bath in the space, changed into her wedding dress, and put on the pajamas prepared by Song's mother for herself. I have to say, you said these ancient people were conservative. Look at this pajama, thin as a veil, it can't cover anything at all, and it has a hazy beauty. You say she's not conservative, even in summer she has to wrap herself tightly, her hands and feet cannot be exposed. Song Yener was really embarrassed to wear this pajama, and Song's mother repeatedly reminded her to wear it. Song Yener had to add another thin shirt outside. Because it's March, but it's not very hot, so I can still bear it. When Xiao Yang came in after washing up, Song Yener was already asleep lying on the table. Xiao Yang carefully picked up Song Yener and walked towards the bed. You're back. Just waking up, Song Yener looked at Xiao Yang with a pair of wet eyes. Delicate and soft, lying in Xiao Yang's arms, her rosy little mouth was particularly tempting. Xiao Yang kissed directly without saying a word. His kisses became hotter and hotter, no longer just muddy in one place. He began to kiss her chin, his neck, and her collarbone. Song Yener was unwilling to be outdone. Her delicate white fingers wrapped around Xiao Yang's neck, and she acted recklessly in the darkness. Her other hand touched Xiao Yang's abdominal muscles downwards. My younger brother has such a great figure. His voice was enchanting and not looking good. Sister's figure is also good, she said as she climbed to the peak of her dream. Sister, do you prefer wild or gentle? Song Yener is speechless. Is this what I like to look like? Can you do it or not? Hurry up if you can, go down if you can't. Song Yener pretended to be calm. Sure enough, even men can't resist being provoked. He placed Song Yener on the bed and bullied her to explore the door of love together. The next day, Sun Gongong had already hung high, and Song Yener only opened her eyes. The first feeling is pain, all over my body. I think of that man who has been struggling to prove himself to be good. If you're angry, you won't hit a single spot. When Xiao Yang came in, he saw Song Yener looking at him expressionlessly. His heart tightened. Sister, are you awake? Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something? Humph, sister. I can't be fooled. Didn't you force me to call you brother last night? Little brat, there are so many tricks, didn't he also read Little Yellow Book in advance? Xiao Yang when feeling strong, he would say some love words, but when he speaks them out in broad daylight, Xiao Yang really doesn't have that face. Brother, he hurts so much. Can you help him up? Brother, are you okay? Song Yener deliberately coquettishly said. Xiao Yang quickly helped Song Yener up with a flushed face. Hiss. Lying down, it really hurts. Tears of pain rushed out. Xiao Yang reached out to massage her waist and saw Song Yener's pajamas, his eyes stiffening. Last night, I only took off and didn't pay attention to Song Yener's pajamas. Although they were also worn by Xiao Yang, they were far from as stunning as they looked during the day. Xiao Yang's massage hand unconsciously changed its position. Song Yener angrily knocked off his hand and said, "Come on, you can be a person. What's good about being a beast?" Xiao Yang choked. "I thought you still wanted it." Glancing at Song Yener in her pajamas. Song Yener looked down at herself and quickly picked up the blanket to cover herself. "Well, you go out and I'll dress myself." The dead man was lost. "Who the fuck seduced you?" "Fuck. Sister really doesn't need my help. Get lost." Xiao Yang's mouth has already grinned to the tip of his ear, but he still went out. "Don't worry." Song Yener directly entered the space and took a bath with spiritual spring water. TSK. A woman nourished by love.